back to Waterdeep Dragon Heist. So, jumping back in, our adventurers were just at a city watch station trying to collect some information about these murders that they heard about. And, yeah, they've done a little bit of investigating around in the dock ward. And, yep, they're just leaving the watch station. So, I'll leave it back to you guys. Didn't get a whole lot of information here.
I would say if we should probably just find an area to bed down. And maybe, I don't know, if one of us...
Do like a watch rotation?
Just have somebody hang out in the street. Or look out a window if there's a...
So are you guys still having this conversation, like, in the watch station?
No, outside.
In front of all of them.
We probably walked out.
Okay. And you walk outside.
Oh.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And fall into a pit trap.
A woman comes up to you, Gus. And just say,
Is it her?
She says, I'm sorry, I overheard what you were saying in there. Are you Augustine Talmost?
I absolutely am.
And she goes to like shake your hand and she says, I'm Myra Palandez. I'm a writer for the Dockward Dispatch. Do you mind, can I ask you a few questions?
You can ask me all the questions.
It's like, so there's been rumors going around that you formed an adventuring party and defeated the Xanathar?
That is 100% accurate.
You need to... She, like, pulls out her notepad. She's really excited, and she's like, what happened? Tell me from the beginning.
Well, to make a long story short, I gathered these fine group of people here, and we went on just an incredible adventure to find a gentleman named Floon. We were hired to help rescue him because he had been captured by the Xanathar, and we knew it was going to be really dangerous. But nevertheless, we just went down into the sewers.
This is such a bad idea.
And we trudged through those sewers. We fought so many different monsters, and there was goblins and ogres and orcs, and it was just incredible. I think we played a giant.
She's like super interested. She's like taking down notes of all the things you're listing, and it's like, and what about the City Watch? How did they help?
The City Watch were responsible for maintaining order above ground. And I think I'll leave it at that.
Okay. And the Xanathar, they're the ones that have been causing all the violence here recently, right? So.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
It's like, you defeated the people who were causing all the violence, right?
I would say we identified some of the localized violence and took care of that. I believe you'll want to speak with the Watch or the Guard if you want to know about other areas of interest.
And what happened to Floon?
Floon was badly impacted by his just the ordeal entirely, and he was while not a bright man, we brought him to get healing because he was dimmer than usual. He was just saying just really crazy things, and we just brought him to get some healing.
Okay. And what are the rest of you guys doing while he is conducting this interview?
I am mostly watching Slackjawed. Just
I'm I'm wishing I could speak to Jeffrey again and have him poop right on this moment.
I'm keeping an eye around, and I've taken a step closer to Gus.
I'm probably like rolling my eyes and kind of like keeping my distance from it all.
So I'm gonna say
Fine group of people.
yeah, so if none of you do anything to stop it, I'm assuming this goes on for a while. Gus will continue to talk about himself. Right?
I think after not much longer, I would put my hand down on Gus's shoulder and say, it's been quite an adventure for the Troll Skull Syndicate, but now it's time for us to get some rest and see what else we can do.
If you have any other questions, you can write to the Talmost estate, and I will have written correspondence with you as much as needed.
And yeah, she'll write down the address and all your information. Okay, and so just to regroup from last week, so you guys have now officially decided on your party name?
Yes.
Okay. And it's the Troll Skull Syndicate?
Yes, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can go back and say that's what you wrote on the form.
Yeah.
And now, I know Gus has intentions of modifying that slightly. On the official document, do you want to try to do any shenanigans to sneak in a name change?
Absolutely.
Oh no.
So I'll have you make a sleight of hand check against all three of you. Make a perception check.
Please catch him.
Perception.
Oh,
Oh.
I rolled a 17 plus 5.
Ooh.
Oh.
Unlikely I'm going to beat that.
I rolled a 19 plus 3.
I rolled a 10, so I'm not going to get any higher.
So yeah, Gus goes to sign the document, and you guys see him move his quill up to where the name of the group is to try to make an addition.
Is it a race to see who stops him?
Yeah, I assume you're gonna jump in.
Yeah. I'm gonna just put my hand on his and say,
No. Bad shiny
No.
man.
Bad shiny man. My eyes.
All right, so the name Troll Skull Syndicate will stand. Okay, and we are going to jump to Draverax.
Dun, dun, dun.
Great.
So,
Wherever he may be.
yeah, it didn't go so great for you last time.
Let's see how this goes.
There were pumpkins eating people. It was a bizarre and deadly time. And then my own friends just left my statue somewhere, is what I've heard.
Yeah.
So
So this time you were just in the Troll Skull Tavern tap room, like investigating, and you're on your way out, but suddenly
feeling the camaraderie with my friends. I'm happy to be there. I'm out of the wild world.
suddenly
Step out and-
you look up and you are in a different place. You're in a room. It's kind of dark. There's rafters above you. It feels like you're in an attic. Just looking around, there's not a whole lot in here, but it's fairly big room with like the A point roof and rafters in there.
Okay.
There is a little bit of light filtering in on one side. There's like a vent with you can see sunlight coming through. It's a little bit dusty, so you have the nice sun rays coming down.
Nice.
There is a small table in front of you, and at this point, like it's not super like it's like I'm backing up. It's a fairly big room as far as like width and depth. It's not super tall. You definitely can't stand up to your full height in here.
Okay.
But there's a table in the middle, and there's something on the table probably, but it's all wrapped in chains. Like something has been chained to the table. And there are so many chains around it, you can't quite see through them to see what's there. And let's go ahead and make a perception check.
Totally. All right. That's not particularly good. That's a 7 plus 2, 9.
9? Okay. So there, you don't see a lot more details about this room, and actually similar to kind of how you were before. That this isn't like you're floating like you were last time in liquid.
Okay.
But
I don't feel like I'm in liquid, but I feel...
No, but you feel it's like difficult to move. You can't. You're kind of more just like. It feels more like you're just watching. That you're. It doesn't feel like you're actually here almost. But within about a minute, you see where that I just said what it is, the grate where the
vent?
where the light's coming in. The vent is pulled away, and you see 2 imps come in.
Can I do a quick perception check to see if they're the same 2 that I've seen
Sure.
in the previous 2 trips into the weird spaces? That's much better. 17 and 2 is 19.
Yeah, as far as you know, these are the same imps you've seen each time recently.
Okay.
And you have not taken a long rest since the last one, so you are frightened of them.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Since I am frightened of them, is there a place that I could like scurry away? I mean, I don't feel like I'm in this world, but even still, I don't necessarily want to be around them. But I am fascinated by what it is they're about to do. So
Yeah,
I would probably just go ahead.
You feel like you kind of like want to like kind of cower in the corner.
Yes.
But so you start to do that, but you find nothing really changes about what you're seeing or where you're at. It's just difficult to move here.
So am I corporal? Do I have a body? Or am I just
you can't
eyeballs?
really tell. It's super weird.
Okay.
You do
so I'm
you do
just
you feel like you don't feel any different. Like you feel like you are standing in this place a little hunched over because it's not super tall.
Okay.
But otherwise you can't. If you feel like you just can't move, or you're moving just like extremely slow.
Interesting. In that case, I'll take some deep breaths and do what I did the last time, and that is just do my best to take mental notes about what I'm watching.
Yeah.
So I'm in an attic. There's something chained to a table in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see anything out of the vent to see if I'm in like a city or if it's an isolated house? Are there
From here,
buildings
you can just
near
kind of
me?
see sky in the background, and it seems like clear blue sky.
Okay,
which
so
is
no woods.
Not where you were before, because on the day you left, it was overcast.
Interesting. Okay. Okay, what are the imps saying?
So far, they haven't said anything, but you do hear another voice in Abyssal. One of the voices that you've heard before, and it says, "I found them." And a moment later, he goes, Their cult has grown stronger than we thought. They've sacrificed a child." And that voice kind of goes quiet, and the imps are sitting there like looking at the thing on the table. And
do the imps respond to the voices I'm hearing, or are they?
They don't seem to notice it.
Okay.
The only time they've like the first time you found them in this like weird cloth cave place, they seemed to notice you. But otherwise, you haven't been able to like interact with anything since then, when you've come to these places.
That's fair. Okay.
And a moment later, you see one of the chains, like the loose end of one of the chains, has like a hook on it, and it starts to move. The imps don't
The
seem.
hook moves?
Yeah, it just kind of starts to move on its own. The imps aren't touching it, and they don't seem to notice it yet.
Can I do an Arcana check on the chain to see if I know anything about like mimics or something? Oh, never mind. I rolled a 1.
Yeah,
just rolled a 1.
You can't see a source of how it's moving. It's just one of these chains has a loose end with a big old metal hook on it, and it starts to move, and then it swings around, and it nearly hits one of the imps. Let's see. Yeah, the imp just barely like sees it at the last moment and dodges out of the way, and then you hear that voice in your head again, just like laughing.
The deep voice that the one that said we need to observe them, and the one that said just recently that their cult has grown stronger, they've sacrificed a child. That voice.
Yeah, that one's laughing at the imp who was getting swatted at by this hook.
Okay.
And then you start hearing a loud knocking sound, And
From where?
It's off to the side. You do see there is a door,
Okay.
and it seems to be like reinforced, like it's locked, like it has a big old lock on it, and it seems to be like a metal reinforced door. And
Is it a door to the rest of the house, or is it a door separating part of the attic from another part of the attic?
It's probably like the way it's set up. It's a vertical door. So it is probably to another part of the attic, but you can see just from the slope line of the roof there can't be much room that way. So it probably opens up 2 stairs.
Okay.
But you can't actually see through it. But yeah, you hear knocking on it, and then suddenly you feel like you are waking up, like you are asleep, and you find yourself back in the tavern in Troll Skull, on the floor sitting there, and like you're waking up, and you continue hearing knocking.
Okay. So I'm laying down. Am I in the tavern, the tap room area?
Yeah, that was where you left. Yep.
Do I have
Yep.
my guy back?
Yep, it's in your
My
hand.
thing back in my hand. Okay, so I sit up and
I
I
hear someone say
try to
hello.
figure out the knocking.
Anyone here?
And then I respond and say, yes, I'm here. I regret that, but I'm going with it.
And so there's a human man walks in. He's just at the door from the tap room, which is now like off of the hinge completely and just like sitting on the side.
Yeah,
So,
I did
so
that.
he's like trying to like knock
I
on the
did
door
that.
frame. And so he walks in and he's like, I'm looking for a Dravarax Rasimov.
Oh, that's me. Do I recognize this guy, Steven?
Make a history check.
Okay. Nice. No, 14.
14, you do not. And he'll introduce himself like, I'm an officer from the Magistrar's office in the Castle Ward. We have some documents here for you to sign.
Oh, okay.
And
What am I signing?
and so he'll show you 2 documents. One of them is a long block of legal text, but you can see it is a document of transfer of ownership of the Trove Skull Manor, and you can see that Volo has signed it as well as all of your other party members.
And there's a spot for my name?
Yep, your name is listed on it as one of the
Nice.
one of the parties to receive, and so you just have to sign it. You can go through and read the whole document if you want, or you can just trust it and sign it.
So Drav would take the time, but I will tell you, he's like so happy that his name is actually on this list that he's rolling like a little tear, and he doesn't know if he should shake this person's hand or like give him a hug. It's really, really awkward. He's like, I'll take the pen. So I scribble my name on the paper.
Yep, and then there's a second document, which is a registration of an adventuring party for the city of Waterdeep. And
nice. And my name's on there too?
Yeah, and again, it has everyone's name on it and the name Troll Skull Syndicate. And in front of that is like the word Gus's, but then that's scribbled out.
So at this point, Drav is just full out weeping, and I give this magistrar a hug. I'm sure it's awkward, but
Yeah,
I'm
this
just so
isn't
happy.
actually the magistrar. This is just like an
A
intern.
representative thereof.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. So this intern's getting a full-on, like, giant-sized dragonborn hug.
Yeah, and
From
it's
the
awkward.
client,
It's an
smiling
awkward
dragon.
hug.
And so I say to him, I say, do you know where my friends are? Do you know? I mean, are they still here or are they upstairs?
So, no, I was just given this address and asked to get your signature, and since you've signed these, this is for you. And he hands you another scroll.
I open it.
Yeah, you open up. That is the deed to Troll Skull Manor.
Awesome. Well, I'm gonna put that in my pocket to give to wherever my
And
my
that
friends
is now
happen to be.
like it's all filled out in all of your group's names instead of
Sweet.
Volo's now. So
Sweet. Well, I thank the representative magistrar for his time.
yeah, he looks kind of around at the condition of the place, and it is like sees how happy you are. And is like this guy is weird, and that's what he's thinking.
I have
He
that
just
weird
walks
smile,
away.
like
Yeah.
this way when we found it.
I like how it froze there too.
Oh, sorry guys.
No problem. So yeah, he heads out, and now you are alone in Troll Skull Manor. And I'll say we can back up time for you a little bit. So for you, it's maybe like 4 p.m., whereas everyone else it's
Okay.
like 5 or 6.
Does it still feel? I'm trying to remember when we were here before. It felt gloomy inside,
Yeah.
right? And we never determined what the source of that gloom. Is it still that way?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm wiping the tears off of my eyes, and I'm just trying to get a feel for where I am and trying to figure out what time it is. So it's about 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
So how long would you say I would recognize I've been gone? Because there's usually a time gap between when I go somewhere and come back. And it doesn't necessarily align with how long I feel like I was in another place.
Yeah, this one felt quick.
Yeah.
And everything seems about as it did when you left. It's obviously later in the day. You don't know if it's the same day. But yeah, you left. It was still fairly early in the morning, and now it seems pretty late in the afternoon.
Okay. In that case, I would probably look for the footprints of my friends to see if they're, because it was a dusty ground, right? I'll look to
Yeah.
see if they had left and if I could see if they went off in another direction. But what I'll just end game here is I'm probably going to ask around if anybody has seen my friends, and if they haven't, I'm probably just going to stay here and wait for them to return. Unless I get super bored, in which case I'm going to go back to Gus's house because we came from there in the first place. And I'm wearing the draperies that they sewed together for me,
Yeah.
so I still have that costume. But that's my plan of action.
Dusty and dirty in here, so it's no difficulty to see like your footprints from earlier and footprints from your group wandering around. But even in front of the doorway, there are more footprints that you probably don't recognize. So it seems like there may have been another group of people in here since your group was in here.
Okay.
And yeah, the footprints will continue out onto like the front porch area, but then they start getting muddled into the regular street traffic.
And they disperse up out into the, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it look like the footprints that are around, that they went to any certain location, like to a window or to maybe a secret passageway in the wall that we missed before? Like, do they congregate in any specific spot, or is it just sort of haphazard?
You can make an investigation check.
Okay, sure. My investigation. Oh. 4. I rolled a 4.
You don't see anything in particular. Like, you guys were pretty thoroughly investigating, so you do see footprints kind of going off in every which way.
Okay.
Nothing stands out as being like strange.
Okay. In that case, I will, because I remember we didn't find anything in the tavern, so I'll walk out onto the street and see if there are people around, and I'll ask any of them if they've seen anything. That's my goal.
Sure. Yeah. There's several vendors there, with different booths out in the alleyway.
Okay.
And yeah, if you ask around, no one has specifically remembered seeing them. They did see one person did see the city watch investigating. That it seems like someone broke into that tavern on the corner.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I don't know who that was.
Yeah, no idea who that could have been.
Beyond me. Awkward.
Yeah, but you don't have any information about where your group might be at this time.
Do we? I remember, and I don't know if I have one of these, so I'll ask you, Stephen. We at some point had like one of those letter things that you would write on it. It would turn into a bird.
Paper bird. Yeah.
Paper bird.
It
Do
was
I have
used.
one of those?
You
It was
had
used.
one, and it was used. Yep.
Okay. I was going to send a message. I might still do that. I might see if there is. Does it look like, around, when there are vendors around, there are like a bunch of kids and people walking around? Is there a kid nearby that I could not awkwardly ask to run an errand for me?
Possibly.
Okay, so I'll approach one of the street gang.
Sure. Yeah, you can find someone there. There's it's not, I wouldn't say it's crowded, but it's not empty. There's people walking through here. Yeah. There's
Okay,
plenty
so
of foot
I'll
traffic.
I'll just ask the first person I come to and say, "Hello, my name is Dravarax. Nice to meet you. I'm one of the owners of this fine establishment. I mean, it's not fine now, but one day it's going to be great. How are you, little person?"
And they're just like confused as to like why this strange dragonborn is talking to them.
Yeah, I get that. I get that a lot.
Yeah.
I have a message I need to send to my friend's house. Could you deliver that for me? Would you do? I'll give you a couple coin things, little person.
And they will make a persuasion check. Let's do it that way.
Sure. Nice. 19 plus. Minus. 19 minus 1.
Okay. How much are you offering?
It'd be helpful to know how much I have in my purse. My satchel. My satchel. I'll give a handful of copper. So the thing is, Drav doesn't really know much about the currency of the city. Like, he's got coins, and he knows, like, these ones are more valuable and these ones aren't. So he'll give, like, a handful of the not valuable ones. Say, would this do? Is this going to do it?
And since you're asking, he'll point out one of the silver pieces and ask for one of those.
And Drav, knowing no better, says, "You drive a hard bargain there. What's your name, person?"
His name is Jonathan.
Jonathan. It's a great, strong name. Tell you what, I'll give you this handful of little copper thingies, and you run the errand. And if you come back with a message for me, I will return. I'll give you the shinier one, the one that you were pointing at. Sound like a deal?
Make another persuasion check.
I will. Yes. 19 minus 1 is 18.
Okay, he'll agree. And where do I need to go?
Could you go to... hey, Josh, sorry. What's your character's last name?
Talmost.
Talmost. Could you go to the Talmost Manor? It's just a couple blocks away. And give them this letter. And I just scribble real quick on some scrap paper.
Sure.
Hey, friend, Gus. It's your big friend, Drav. I'm at our bar place. You should totally come. Thanks for keeping me as a member of the party. Signed, your very best friend, Dravarax. P.S. I'm the Dragonborn. P.P.S. I'm really tall. P.P.P.S. Thanks for the really cool drapery. It's great. Smiley face. Exclamation point. I fold it up and give it to the kid and give him the copper coin things.
Yep, and he will run straight away.
All right. Goodbye, Jonathan. I will see you when you return, says Drav very awkwardly, looking around to make sure that that's how commerce works in this city.
Yeah. Yep. And do you do anything else while you're there, or are you just gonna wait?
I'm going to investigate, but I don't want to like sidetrack the story, so I'll just investigate the manor. But I can pause here and let you jump back to the men and lady in waiting.
Oh wait, so you're just gonna hang out at
the title.
You're just gonna hang out at the manor?
Yeah, totally. Because I'm gonna look this, because I remember somebody had said something about it being like haunted or something, so I was gonna check it out.
Sure. I'll say that's not a very far distance to send him to just drop off a letter. So he will.
Nice.
He'll be back in like 15 minutes. So,
good. Then I'm gonna investigate for 15 minutes.
Okay. So you've already looked around quite a bit. Is there anything specific you want to look into?
So we went into the tavern area. We were gonna go to the upstairs like living quarters and see, you know,
And
ins and outs.
along with that deed scroll, you have the floor plan blueprints of the whole manor.
Very good. And I'm just so happy to be walking around with it.
Yeah. So you want to try and go upstairs?
Yes, I do.
Okay. The one thing you don't have is the key. But I think...
Yep.
I believe Dravarax has a key.
Yeah, I think Dravarax is
The key.
Knowing what I know, that we're going to have to do a lot of work on this place anyway. When I get to the door, I look to see if there are any windows nearby, and if I need to,
like you would fit through a window.
Right.
Well, you know, I'll fall into the door like a lot.
Yeah, all the other windows around are boarded over.
That's what I figured.
But there is a door around the side on Doom Street. There's
Okay.
stairs that go up to the second floor door.
I'm gonna
And-
check just to see if it's unlocked before
Yeah,
I
it's
destroy
locked.
another door. Okay, it is. I don't have the cool lock picking mechanism, but I'll strong arm my way into my new house.
Okay. Make
Home
a,
sweet home.
Surrounded by pumpkins.
Make a strength
Stop
check.
it! Stop it! I'm probably still afraid of pumpkins, right? Anything autumn related. Oh my gosh, a 1!
So,
I rolled a 1. That's a second 1. I'm switching die.
Yeah, you bash your shoulder against the door, and it hurts a good bit.
I'm so like the tears are still in my eye to have my own house. Friends that really like me, that I just don't know what I'm doing. I throw my weight into the pivot of the door as opposed to the handle of the door. It's just bad, embarrassing.
Yeah.
Is that the only other door? Yeah, I'm totally trying again. Was that the only door entrance?
It's the one that you see that isn't there. Like there are others, and especially if you look at the layout, there are other doors, but those are all boarded over too. So this is the only one that's like accessible as a door at the moment.
Yeah, I'll just bust in. This time I rolled a 16 plus 5 because strength is plus 5.
Sure. Yeah.
21.
You can get in there.
21. All right, in I go.
All right. I can actually pull this up.
Sweet. How does it feel, Steven? Does it feel gloomy in here too?
It is not nearly as gloomy up on the second floor.
Okay.
The gloom seems to be limited to the tap room and the kitchen.
Got it.
Basically the first floor. I've got a token for you. There you are.
Oh, nice. So that's the door I just busted in.
Yep, you came up the stairs from Doom Street and came in through that door.
Got it. So,
And here you see, there's the window here that's boarded over, 2 doors. There's a fireplace here.
okay.
Since you have the whole floor plan available, I'm not blocking off the other rooms, so that's why you can see through the walls. But
Got it.
this room seems.
Oh, go ahead. Is there anything in here?
There's no like furniture. It is dirty, and there is the same kind of water damage you saw downstairs is in here too. So
Got
it
it.
seems like there's a major leak that has gone through several floors of the house. So that seems like a pretty big repair you'll have to undertake.
Does it also look dusty in here too, or does it look like there have been recent footprints?
No, it looks pretty dirty in here.
Okay. Since it's now my house, I'll pry some of the boards off the window, get some light in.
Sure.
Do I need to do a strength check for that?
I'll just say eventually you do it.
Thank you, because I failed.
Yeah.
I rolled a 4.
Yeah.
So solid.
It just takes you longer.
I have all this. I have 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I'll take my 15 minutes wisely. I'm basically just going to go to the room to the north and sort of walk through and do a walk of this floor, all the while looking for footprints, signs of life, signs of damage, signs of like false floors or fake walls or anything out of the ordinary. I have the map. I'm just trying to figure out what there is to figure out about this floor.
Yeah, you
That's
see
what I'm doing.
this door over here that heads outside, that one and the one here, both doors leading out are basically nailed shut.
Oh, okay.
And this kind of little balcony out here, that matches. Is that gonna follow me? Yeah.
Like the cover
that
for
matches
the
this
tavern?
this spot here on the bottom floors. The stairs come down. So
Got
there
it.
is another entrance to the second floor up this way, but that
Okay.
door is currently blocked.
Okay.
I'll make an investigation check.
Okay. I will. Investigation. I rolled a 7.
7? Yeah, at least on
Yeah.
this floor, there's nothing else too much of interest. Like, there's a bedroom down here. There's seems like a spare room.
Okay.
This is a fireplace.
Okay. And I'm prying boards off windows as I go. I'll leave the door stuff for later, but I'll be
Sure.
prying
So
windows.
if you're doing that, that'll take you a little longer. So I'd say Jonathan has come back by now.
Okay. And then, so Jonathan, welcome back, little fellow. Did you deliver the message?
I did.
And did they send a message back? Are my friends there?
The guards accepted the message, and they didn't have anything in return.
So I'm gonna do a perception check to see if I think he's lying, because I don't know.
Okay, make
He
an
could be lying.
insight.
That's what I meant.
Yep.
An insight check. 15.
15. He doesn't seem to be lying, but
Okay.
you don't have a whole lot to go on either.
Okay.
Just some kid you just met who is interested in your money.
That's fair. So to Jonathan, I say, Jonathan, I really appreciate the solid, assist you gave me there, buddy. Tell you what, if you, I'll just pay you, and I might need you to send another message later. How about that? So I give him the silver coin and say, thanks for your help. Go, don't get into trouble, you young whippersnapper.
He's like, all right, and he'll thank you, and he'll run out.
And I write down in my little diary, I have a friend named Jonathan. No, I don't. But I think I do.
So are you just gonna basically go room to room and floor to floor? All
Totally.
of everything? Okay.
Yep.
So I'll say, make one more investigation roll,
Sure.
and we'll just cover this all and speed it up.
19.
19. Okay, that's really good. So far you don't see the whole time you go, you don't see anything out of place for here's just a living space that has not been lived in for a long time.
Okay.
It's definitely dusty, but there's basically, it's empty. There's this bedroom, there's a spare room, stairs that go up to the 3rd floor, it comes up in here. You find basically there's a bathroom, a tiny one here and here. This bedroom up here has its own fireplace and its own private bathroom, which is nicer. It also has access to this little room, which comes up to this space in another floor up, which is the turret at the top of the building.
Oh, cool.
There's another, this seems to be the master bedroom down here. Has its own bathroom. And then the stairs come up. There's another little bedroom up on the 4th floor, and then a storage room. And yeah, it's the
Very
whole
cool.
place. Because you already investigated the kitchen and the basement last time.
Got it. I feel quite happy about our new digs. So it's taken about 15 minutes to look. It was about 4 o'clock. Is it still 4:30ish, 5 o'clock?
I'd say if you're going through and prying boards off every single window and door, you'll be here for a while.
Okay.
So I'll jump back to the
go
other
ahead.
group.
Totally.
Yep. All right. So Gus has finished talking to the reporter, and you're all hanging out in the dock ward.
So I think when we last left, we had said that there is a captain that we could speak to that was making the rounds, and that we were going to talk
You
to
basically
him.
left a message for him, Captain Staggett, who you met
Yes.
in the warehouse. So you could try to go find him while he's out patrolling, but you did leave a message for him.
I left a message for him and gold for the guards to tell him. So I'm hoping that'll work.
Yeah.
They seemed non-committal.
Yeah, it's kind of weird for civilians to start asking around about murders. It's probably not a protocol for that too much.
I don't know. Is there? Our option would be to try to find somewhere nearby to stay the night, or make our way all the way back to our normal places and come back tomorrow when it's... Because it's nighttime, right?
Yeah, it's by now. By the time you're done talking, the sun has set.
Yeah.
We started talking at 5. It's
Stuff
now
happen
midnight.
Doesn't this stuff happen now? Shouldn't we be here when it's happening? Obviously, people that are here in the daytime don't know what's going on at night. If we talk
Right.
to anybody, it should be the people that are out around this time.
The night shift folk.
Yeah.
Well, and just as far as your kind of assessment of the situation, you were told about 3 beheadings that had happened, and you just happened to find several reports of missing persons that were like months ago.
Right.
So you kind of get the feeling this probably isn't like a thing you could see happening every night. So just because you happen to be here doesn't mean you'll necessarily find something. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think there's an opportunity for us to kind of put a pin in this and see what else we need to do.
But if you leave, you might miss him. No, that's not.
Did we give up on the whole idea of trying to lay bait?
I'm not wearing that outfit that you guys posted in chat.
Please
No, but
do.
you were dressed before, like you had your rope out and
Right.
stuff.
I mean,
I
I'm
had
fine.
Jeffrey following you. Is Jeffrey still following us?
Make a perception check.
I hope so. Oh, I did not. I did not see him.
did
I
not-
only got
You
like
don't
a
even
9.
see a bird.
There are a few seagulls around, but it's hard to differentiate
I
Jeffrey
can't tell.
between any other bird.
I told
Well,
him to keep watch.
We got rest last night, and so I mean, I'm thinking kind of a little out of character, I guess. We got sleep last night, so we're not exhausted or anything like that. I mean,
You did have an early morning with waffles.
yeah. I'm fine with hanging out for a little bit, but maybe just trying to find people that we can talk to.
Yeah.
Dan, what say you?
I'm good for hanging out for a little while as well. I mean, we already hit up the local bar, and they didn't seem to have much, so I don't know where else there was around here for us to really try and talk.
You know, if they have a vendetta against half-elves, what better way to draw attention to ourselves than to have our friendly street performers start juggling?
Oh, I can totally go play bait. I'm 100% down for playing bait.
I mean, I don't mind being bait, but I think that if we wanted to draw some attention to a half-elf in the area,
That's true.
Oh.
Between the two of you,
The drow would probably draw more attention than.
the drow in the bright purple outfit, and he's a little bit more slight too, so easier to.
Do you guys think maybe
Are
like
they-
at the corner of Ship Street and Dock Street, or maybe Sternpost and Dock Street, I could set up and like just busk on the corner? 'Cause it's close to the water's edge, so anyone who's like messing with sailors
Yeah,
would presumably see me.
you might actually get some money out of it too.
It's absolutely true.
Are they only sailors that have been the beheadings, or or the missing people? Were they only?
You don't know much about the missing people. You did hear that the 3 that were described to you were sailors. And as you're just kind of hanging out in this area, as it's getting later, you do notice a lot of the places around are like closing down. There are fewer people, but one place has not closed down. It seems to have gotten livelier. Is right here. It seems to be a fest hall. There's no sign out front, but there is a kind of a statue of a mermaid with outstretched arms.
Should we go in?
sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we'll wander into that place and see what is the good word.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You walk in, and it's a fairly large room. It seems to have also has rich sea blue draperies as you walk in, and there's a series of elegant dining lounges.
Oh, great.
This looks like the fancy place to get dinner around here, and perhaps a little bit more than dinner if you need companionship.
Oh.
There is a host at the door, and he says, "Welcome to the Mermaid's Arms. How can we serve you this evening?" And you do hear there's music in the background. It's well lit. You can see a few waiters and waitresses carrying trays of food around.
So I guess I'll look at the door guy and be like, I was wondering if you guys need any additional entertainment for the evening. I'm a local performer. It's what I do.
And he kind of takes a look at you and kind of like does an up down of your attire.
And I chime in, I was like, he is one of the best acts I have seen in this town in a long time.
And he'll say like, "Well, sir, we'll have to we'll go through a formal process for interview. We won't just accept new performers this night. But he looks through. He's got like a stand with some papers, and he like flips through it, and he pulls out a card and gives it to you, and it has the name Calithia Frost, and it basically it's like a business card. And
Okay.
it's like you can contact our proprietress at a later time, and we can see about hiring you on board.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Do you guys need any additional staff this evening for other things? We've got some people that make fantastic security.
And
We've heard it's been dangerous these evenings.
we are fully staffed for this evening, but thank you for your offers. And you can
should give
tell
me your
like
headshot
he's
resume.
being very polite, but you can kind of tell he's a little annoyed that you're not a customer.
Ooh. Strike one.
What about Lynn? Would they take Lynn in employ?
Gus
She's a
just
far
said-
better
What
employee
about
than
this
I
one?
am.
She's really good at delivering
Wow.
boxes, and she's very punctual.
For all employment opportunities, you'll have to contact Ms. Frost.
Does Gus really say that?
I think she's going to stab you. I think she's going
Did
to
you
stab
just suggest that Lynn is a lady of the night?
He literally did. He quite literally did. He
I
pushed her
walk
forward
out.
like, how about this one? Oh,
I walk out.
Oh,
I
wow.
literally walk out.
It's not going to end well for you, Gus.
you. Oh, no, Gus.
I was trying to help Gus. I was like, the delivering boxes thing, you should have gone that route. You really did just offer her up. Eek.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What is Gus's wisdom stat? Let's check that.
Was it minus
It's not
7?
very
Right.
I'm a -1.
Fitting.
He's playing his character.
Fitting.
He's playing his
Yep.
character.
I'm not wise and I'm not smart.
Clearly, because you're going to get B's. That's what you're going to get.
Tell me you hit him with the bees. That'd be so great.
Well, so I assume we'll step back away from the door and kind of like out into the street again a little bit.
Tell me you back
What
up.
is-
Like, you don't even turn around. You just slowly, awkwardly back away.
Whoa. There's no awkwardness, man. It's moonwalking.
Oh, that's true.
All day, every day. Tip the hat.
Awesome.
And
I
moonwalk
shake my
away.
head and I walk out.
That is an audition. You basically did like a pre-audition. Very smart, Dan. Very
Oh
smart.
yeah. I'm always at work. So we like I don't. So that place seems kind of fancy. I don't think. Well, they certainly won't let me in to perform. I don't think I
Hold
necessarily
on,
belong
Lynn,
there.
are you still outside the door?
Yeah, where'd you go,
Or did
Lynn?
you leave?
Like I left and I like I'm like walking down the street.
You've got to be fuming. This
When
is
I
he's
walk
looking
out,
for Jeffrey.
do-
This is.
Do
you've
I
done
see
it.
Lynn? at
You've
all?
done it now.
Yeah,
Oh,
you guys left right after her. You can see her.
Okay.
Catch up to her.
We, uh, let's try and catch up to Lynn. Let's.
So, do we have a situation to where we have a girl walking in front of a group of 3 guys? The girl is pissed off and walking away, and we're just like walking behind her, like, "Oh God, way to go, Gus!"
That's exactly what's going on.
Yeah,
This is
great.
amazing.
Guys,
This is awesome.
I didn't mean that. I didn't know that kind of place. I mean, I it's strange that guys pay for that stuff. I've never had to pay for it.
Oh. Oh.
Have they caught up to me?
I'm trying.
No matter how close
Yeah.
we were, you could probably hear that because Gus probably said it way too loud.
We'll say it this way: do you want to let them catch up to you?
I will slow down and let them catch up to me.
Ooh.
And when they do catch up, I will turn around and I will look at Gus and say, "You need to go inside there, and you need to pretend that you're a smoochly rich guy, and you need to go and you need to talk to people and figure out some information so we can leave this stupid, stinky place."
You can do that. I don't belong in there unless I'm working.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. And I turned.
Gus.
All right, Gus. Gus, you make your way back.
I turn and I head back to this strange place where men pay for companionship.
All right.
As Gus loudly proclaims, "I don't understand why the rest of you are here."
So yeah, this is the same guy. Welcomes you in. Is a little bit confused as to
Weren't you just?
yeah.
Didn't I feel like I just saw you?
Sorry, I was confused for a moment. I thought I was in line, and then they left, and I
So followed the line.
Yeah.
I decided to offer one of them up.
This is so good. Keep going, guys. Keep going.
But I just wanted to just hang out.
Are you here for dinner or for a room or something? more?
Yes.
Yes and yes.
Yes, yes.
Let's go with yes.
All right, and so he'll see you to a table.
Do you have a menu?
Yep. They'll hand you a menu.
For which set of services?
Well, on the front side, you see the wine list.
There you
On
go.
The other
The
side,
desserts and then the other.
Dessert.
It starts with just a dinner menu, and for you've been to fancy restaurants around town before. It's
Not like
similar. Similar fare for fancy dinner, but
Let's be real. Like this. He's putting on a show that he hasn't done.
they took him to his table. Come on.
He has a tab that's just always open there.
Oh,
Like,
as
and everybody's
usual.
like, Gus.
The guy's like, "Oh, as usual on the Talmost Estates tab, I assume."
You notice the prices listed on the menu are at least double what you would expect any other place to have for such.
Are
food.
they double because there's other services included in the price?
No, it just seems like this is just their
They're
food
just
menu.
overpriced.
Yeah.
Okay.
He sends it back. Give me the other menu. This is ridiculous. I need the shorter, cheaper one.
Do you have a menu of other services?
Oh,
What other services would you be interested in?
Never mind. This is good. I'll just take the food menu. Thanks. I'm gonna need a minute.
it's like a young
So-
kid going to buy.
So
Oh, never mind. Just kidding.
Before you leave, no, never mind. I'll just, and I'm good.
like, okay, he leaves, and you are now alone in your table.
Are there many other people around?
There's a fair number of people. It's not a full place, but it's mostly full.
Are they all like dudes?
There is a good diversity. There's several couples. There are several individuals. There's a couple groups of looks like just sailors just having dinner.
What is
You do notice a couple where there's a guy who seems very unattractive with a woman who seems very attractive.
He must be like a really nice guy.
Yes, probably what you get from that.
Yeah. His wallet is very nice.
What is the cheapest ale or something on the menu?
So on a drink menu, they'll give you a basically a hand keg, like a small, not more than a glass, and that's going to be about 10 copper.
Okay, I would like to order a couple of those, and then bring them with me over to the table with the sailors.
Okay.
And sit down.
I like where this is going.
Like I know what I'm doing.
Not the lecherous old man and the woman. You're going for the table of sailors.
I'm going for the table of people that I think would have some information.
Yeah, their kin are getting butchered.
You do realize I spent 8 years in the guard. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you don't know anything about this kind of restaurant.
One of those two things is very true.
So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Sure. Yeah. You get the 2 kegs and you walk over and you set them down on the table.
Yep.
And
Set them on the table and sit.
They all like look up at you and like cheer. They already have their glasses. They're like, "Hey, welcome."
What's up, guys?
And they'll introduce themselves. They are the crew of a ship called the Copper Rose.
The Copper Rose.
They just came in second place in the Fleet's Wake boat race.
Oh, I totally recognize them because I was there, watching the races.
Make a deception check.
On your date, that went so well.
Natural 1.
Yeah, they realize you have no idea what they're talking about, but you brought them ale, so they are continuing to celebrate.
So, you guys been in town long?
We've been here for about the past 10 days getting our ship ready.
What are any of them elves or have elves?
They are all humans.
All humans. Are you guys familiar with some of the weird stuff that's going on around here?
I mean, we've heard about some of the violence that's been going on. Nothing specific. We've mostly been hanging out on our ship.
Oh, that's cool.
We haven't seen anything weird here.
Do you guys know of anything peculiar going on?
Like murdery.
Yeah, like just like have you found any heads in the street?
Jesus Christ.
It's a little presumptuous there, guys.
A little heavy-handed there, guys.
They'll like completely miss what you are trying to suggest and be like, "Yeah, do you see the dragon's wing? It was way ahead of us in the race." Like how I don't know how they did that. That was weird. That was something peculiar.
It is very peculiar that you guys didn't win because I put a lot of money on you guys.
It's like, how much did you get for winning second place?
I got like 50 silver.
Oh, nice.
And that's why I'm gonna keep ordering up these rounds for us because you guys helped me get all that money.
Well, we're moving on to the main event later on, so we'll get them next time.
Cool. Well, do you guys know of any other locations where there's like a lot of sailors hanging out?
I mean, so
that sounds presumptuous in a completely different way.
There are various inns and taverns up along the dockward that you would just kind of know, and they might shout out a couple names that you recognize, but they
What about
they
the
don't.
ones from the first place team? Where are they?
Ooh.
They think about it. They're not sure. They're not familiar with that crew.
All right.
And it stings a little that you would bring that up,
Yeah.
like right away.
Oh, that's where you really want to go party?
Well, if you're looking for men in the Navy, you may go to the YMCA.
Ah,
In the Navy. All right. One final question. Who do you recommend here?
And they don't understand what you're referring to for the question.
So
A bunch of sailors in a place of ill repute don't get that. Oh,
Well, they're pretty drunk, and the question was not very overt. So I think they'd be like, well, we recommend the ale is good, the stout's pretty good.
All right. You guys have a good night. And I'm gonna walk over and sit down with the
And
dude.
you kind of get the impression that they were really just there to celebrate for drinks. They weren't into the other services. They just picked like the most expensive place they could have picked because they weren't familiar with the area.
Sweet. All right. I'm gonna go over to the other guy who's got the lady with him.
Yeah, when you walk up to them, they'll like look up at you, and the guy's like, "What do you want?"
I just have a quick question. How do you
And
know?
he like
who
cuts you off and is like, "Get out of here!
Just one question,
No.
man.
Are you gonna pay for my time?"
How much is that time?
It's you would know that it is not cheap.
All right. Well, I don't have that much money, so I'm gonna have to turn around. All right. This goes about as well as all of my investigations have gone.
You're gonna have a really good story for your friends though about who you talked to and what you learned, I'm sure.
I'm trying to stay in here long enough so that Lynn maybe calms down, because I don't want to come like right back outside.
Gotta give it the old college try.
Yeah.
We'll say so, Lynn. How long would that be? What is the target of how long you need to punish Gus?
I don't think it's a time thing. I want him to come back with results.
Ooh.
So essentially, Josh, you just crit failed.
Yeah.
Like he could take however long or short he needs to. If he comes back with results, then it's fine. But I'll remember it if he comes back as a failure.
One last ditch effort before I leave. I'm just gonna yell out, "Does anybody know anything about murders here?"
He's gonna yell it out. Just...
Oh gosh.
Yeah, the staff immediately run over to you and ask you to please quiet down, and they escort you out.
You guys know anything about murders here?
So as Gus gets heave-hoed out the door.
So at least he does get an escort while he's in there.
Guys, there's people being murdered in the streets. Just I'm trying to help here.
As someone who used to be a bouncer in real life, my suggestion is that they use his head to open the door. That used to be one of my favorite things.
That's the best way to always make it happen.
Exactly. Especially when people would do things
As
not
one who is
even
also
that dumb.
as one who has also bounced and been bounced.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nothing says think about your decisions more than like a bruise right here.
I just love the question. Does anyone know anything about murders happening around here?
Do they see me getting escorted out of the building?
Yeah.
So what are the rest of you doing while Gus was in there? Were you just like waiting outside?
Yeah, probably.
having watched the amazing display of Lynn, like total finger in the face to Gus, I'm probably just standing there with my foot kicking rocks in the dirt, going, so, yeah.
Yeah, like if I had popcorn, I'd be waiting for Act 2 of this play. That's that's where I'm.
So
Actually, are there? No, don't worry about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, you totally see him getting thrown out.
All right, I walk towards them, and the whole time I'm avoiding eye contact with Lynn. I'm looking everywhere but her. And I'm like, guys, I think I was onto something in there. It was, I mean.
Is that why they threw you out? They threw you out because you were making so much progress?
I think they knew what I was trying to do. It seemed kind of shady.
So did you find any information?
Yeah, tons. Tons of information.
Like what? Where should we go?
Like, share it with
It's
us.
frustrating. We don't know we have like no leads with this.
There's other places we could visit. There's other sailors.
Josh, I love how you're actually looking all over the place.
There wasn't anyone in there that knew anything?
Oh, they were stonewalling me. I mean, I got them some alcohol, and they were shifting their eyes around and stuff. It looked kind of shady.
Should we go back in there and talk to anyone specific?
Oh no! I think that room's tapped out. We should go this way.
Which way are you going?
I don't know. I'm just pointing.
Whichever direction he was closest to away from Lynn, probably. So no, I'll go ahead and take a moment. Really, all right. Well, if we're not making progress with that, I actually kind of like Nightbreeze's suggestion that maybe I try and draw some attention. So I'm thinking,
Where can we find? I know well, perhaps Gus has seen it, but can we find if there's a race going on and the ships are docked, they should be docked nearby, which means there's a chance for a crowd. Because this is a big event.
So you gathered by now the race is pretty much over. Like the top 3 places have returned. So if there were, how many ships were in the first race? There were 7. So only the top 3 advanced to the next round. So the rest, even if they didn't finish, like no one cares about them anymore. So the race, at least for this day, is over. There are plenty of people walking up and down the dock ward. There's always a good number of ships here, but especially Fleet's Wake. Fleet's Wake is a maritime festival. There's just tons of ships. There's lots of people here for late at night in the dock ward. On an average night, like the sailors come in and they either sleep on their ships or they fill up the taverns and the inns. There's not a lot of foot traffic on the streets. As far as this night, this 10-day, there is a fair number of people out and about, and there's people getting ready for the next races in a couple days, people getting ready for the shipwrights ball, people getting ready for various galas that are going on. So
I liked your original idea of hitting the just the street corner of with Dock Street and
there's dock and ship, dock and stern post. Both those are pretty close.
Yeah,
or we could make it up to Fishgut Court in like that area.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be busy.
Well, here's the thing. Do we want to go someplace that's super busy or someplace that's kind of out of the way to kind of draw attention to a solitary half elf
Dancing with lights.
I'm thinking semi out of the way,
right?
Because I can try and get attention, but it's attention that there's no one, that many people around me.
Right.
So probably maybe as close to the crowded areas we'd want to get, and this is making an assumption, so let me know if that assumption is wrong, that there would be more people up near like Fish Street, Fishgut Court, that area is busier than maybe kind of this southern end of the dock ward. Is that a reasonable assertion?
Sorry, that was more people further north. Is that what you said?
Well, yeah. So essentially, my assertion would be that the likely busy space in the dock ward, the busiest space would be like Fish Street, Sail Street, Fishgut Court, kind of like that central area, as opposed to the southern tip.
It's kind of all around. There are, like, where you're at down in, like, where you're at and where you were up here.
Mm-hmm.
That's, where are you? Where were you over there? There's more, like, guild halls there. So maybe people more on official business. Further out this way, there's more, like, businesses. And further south that way. You obviously know about Zoblobs and Auroras, and there's another fest hall over here.
Yep.
It's taken a while for my arrow to show up. And yeah, there's further north, there's more like warehouses, there's more, it's less commercial up there, but when you're like up in this area, there's Fishgut Court, there's a bunch of more inns up in here.
It's probably a good spot, right off from the main square.
So like the corner of Adder Lane and Gut Alley, like right around there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Let's make our way up there.
the goal is to be bait. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So I should
be
set
by
up on the
yourself.
corner. I should set up on the corner, and you guys should stay far enough away that I can get your attention, but you don't even easily see me.
Right, and the whole intent is we're just trying to see if there's anybody that pays any particular attention, and I think that I think this may be something that's going to take longer than a night to fix.
Yeah.
Should
mean-
should you maybe act a little bit drunk and vulnerable?
You mean he's not drunk already?
I always act a little drunk.
You know what I mean? Like that's like seeing someone alone and in a more vulnerable state might be the best lure if we're trying to lure.
While we're walking that way, is there anywhere to get a courier?
What are you looking to do?
I just want to send a note back to the estate to let them know that if a weird giant grinning dragonborn shows up, where to find us.
Okay.
At the moment, I don't even remember his name. That's the dragonborn with big teeth.
It's Dravarax, Gus.
As you're walking, you find here on the corner there is an inn called the Ship's Prow.
Mm.
And if you check in there, they'll have a service that could send a message for you like that.
Sweet. I will absolutely do that.
Yeah, they will charge 50 copper.
Oof. Okay.
Gus like he's not worth it.
All right.
All right. Yeah, and then I guess I'll make my way up to kind of the intersection of Adder Lane and Gut Alley. Yep.
Up here.
Yep. And just kind of like on the side of the road, I'll like set up, put a hat out, start doing dancing lights, singing, dancing.
And what would that sound like, Keller? I'm curious.
You don't want to hear me sing, trust me.
Yes, I do.
I guess for the joy of it, I would be doing like sea shanty songs, so I can sound drunk because you always sound drunk when singing sea shanties.
Love it.
Go ahead and make a performance check.
All right,
43.
where's my performance? Oh yeah, I'm +5 on performance.
So 6.
18.
Okay. All right.
Not bad.
And what is everyone else doing while he's setting up?
I'm just scanning the area.
Well,
We'd be far away, right?
Yeah, presumably you guys are hiding somewhere relatively far
Stealth
away.
Checks.
Yeah.
Just if you're investigating the area, just kind of a couple places of note. There is an inn up here on Adder's Lane. It's called the Rearing Hippocampus.
Nice.
Very nice.
It seems to be a classier inn. And again, you're in the dock ward, so none of the buildings look super great, but this one looks decent. If you will peek inside, it is fancier inside. There is a business here called Townews Rope Works. It seems like they sell various types of rope for as you would use in a ship. There is another inn over here on Gut Alley. That one's called the Splintered Stair. And that's about it. There's other shops and a lot of residences along here. But those are the ones that stood out.
Alright.
So are you otherwise trying to like sneak between a couple of buildings or stay out of the way, or are you just camping out on the street? Or...
Like-
I'm just camping out on the street like 60 to 90 feet away to where I can still kind of have eyes on.
He's
but
hippo
not-
camping out.
Yeah, but not like darting between buildings or anything like that.
Yeah, I would probably have like the hood up on my cloak and just kind of like leaning against, like casually like leaning against a wall, just like keeping my eye out, but being kind of in the dark shadow, inconspicuous.
Okay.
I'm essentially singing Baird's Privateers by Stan Rogers.
Tell me you're sneaking in some lines like, "Oh, I love that I have a head. My head's not getting cut off. It's so great to be
Look how
a headed
magnificent this
person."
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would probably be like ready and willing to do like 2 to 2.5 hours worth of performance there to see how much attention I can get.
So do you have some
Try-
kind of like tip jar set out?
Yeah, like I said, like again, like got a hat or a little bag down for people to tip into. Assuming nobody tries to steal the tip jar, which is a thing that happens.
Now, did you seed the tip jar? Did you put a couple coins in yourself, or is it just empty?
No, I always put a couple in.
Always.
Nobody wants to be the first person to tip.
Mm-mm.
So I would have dropped probably, 5 to 10 copper in to start it. Weight it down in place a little bit,
Yes.
but also so people see, like, yeah, this guy's worth paying.
I drop in a silver bar.
Yeah, a whole bar of silver.
So if you sit there, you perform for a couple hours. In that time, you don't notice anything particularly unusual. There's still a fair amount of foot traffic. There's people heading to these two inns nearby. You make about 2 gold altogether. So it's not bad for kind of just a random intersection.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
So you've had better nights, you've had worse, but
You didn't get killed. I mean, that's a positive.
Well,
Yeah, but nobody tried to kill me. That's a
yeah,
negative.
that's the problem.
Have we noticed anybody paying any particular for long periods of time?
no one has lingered for a super long time.
Okay.
Maybe like 10 minutes was the most.
I'm looking at for the people like that are like not close, but still like really watching him from far away, type of a thing.
Sure, you make an investigation check.
12.
Just as far as like people watching, there's nothing strange. Yeah, people just going about their normal business this evening.
I would like to go to one of those inns and try and drive more business to him.
Sure.
Does anybody know anything about the going out of the hallway? Out in the street.
It's going to be about that awkward, yeah.
So which inn are you going to?
The fancier one.
Okay.
The hippocampus.
Hippocampus.
Yeah, and what are you doing in there?
I'm gonna go to the bar and just talk really loudly to the bartender about this weird drow at the corner who is performing, and it was kind of cool, but it was really weird to see a drow there. But I'm in Gus full volume, trying to draw attention to the fact that there's a drow at the corner performing.
Okay. So the kind of the atmosphere in here is more kind of like quiet.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. There are people. There's a bar. There are people drinking, and yeah, your conversation is loud, and people do turn their heads, but you don't necessarily see anyone getting up to check it out. They're all kind of doing what they intended to be doing this evening.
I'll order one cheap drink and pay for it.
Yeah, you can.
And then as I'm leaving, just yell again, guys, for real, you should probably see this.
Yeah, you can get an ale for 2 copper.
Okay.
Make a persuasion check.
4.
4. Yeah, you haven't convinced anyone.
Oh wait, you said persuasion?
Yeah.
That's actually an 8.
An 8. Doesn't
Solid. Solid 8.
That's with the +5.
So yeah, no luck for Gus tonight apparently.
So many ways.
Yes. And thankfully on some of those ways.
Yes.
All right, so I would say that after the time, after about an hour or 2, I think that, I would probably try to get everybody back together and discuss calling this a wash for now, and maybe focusing on our other things that we could be working on, such as, that amazing building that we now own.
Yeah.
So Gus, remind me, what was in your letter that you sent back to your family?
It was just a letter for the servants to let them know that if Dravarax came by, we were down in the dock.
Okay. So the fun part about that is Dravarax also sent them a message letting them know he was at Troll Skull Manor.
He did that. Awkwardly.
So within, you were performing for a couple hours. They would eventually get that letter, and well, I'll say, Gus, if you would knowing your servants, if they got these 2 letters, would they then send someone to Troll Skull Manor to try and contact Dravarax?
They absolutely would.
Alright, so Dravarax...
They knew what was good for them.
So you're just hanging out exploring the manor for a few hours. I'm assuming you're like maybe trying to clean up a bit. You've been pulling boards off of windows, and that's
it's true, but I've also been taking a little bit of time to like prepare a speech to give to my 4 best friends and maybe Jonathan about my life, right? So I keep disappearing and reappearing, and I want to get a story. I want to tell them. I'm going to tell them my deep dark secret about what's going on. So I'm probably chicken scratching it on paper and like trying to make it sound right to myself. Sure. All the while, like I'm sweeping. I'm like Cinderella-ing that place, right? Sweeping up and singing with the birds and cleaning up and first, writing my story. That's what I've been doing in this time off.
Sure. So
it's been lovely.
It's later in the evening. You someone knocks on the door downstairs.
I get really excited and I traipse on down. Coming! Hold on! Be right there! Yeah. Jonathan, is that you? Jonathan?
No,
hello?
It's one of the servants you recognize wearing the Talmost colors from the morning. And
hello, little Talmost person.
Yeah, and he'll like, sir, we've received word that Lord Talmost and your friends are down in the dock ward.
My 4 best friends?
He's not sure how to respond to that.
The answer is probably yes.
And,
so they're in the
and
dock.
he'll basically show you the letter he has.
So I take it and I read it. I'm really excited that he spelled my name correctly. That's a big win. So they're down in the dock. So, Stephen, give me a feel for distance from where I am to where they are. How long would that take me to?
It's forever.
Pretty far.
Yeah, it's clear on the other side of town.
You are from there.
Oh, geez, you have to zoom that far out? Oh, my.
What is that? So it's a couple miles. Yeah, it's mostly one end of town to the other, more or less. So yeah, it's over 2 miles away, which for Waterdeep is pretty far.
Gotcha. And is there a way I could speed that up? Horses, maybe. A carriage. Trying to think. Is there like a taxi service?
Carriages and drays you can taxi, yeah.
Okay, I might do that. I thank the Talmost person, man, woman, child. Who is this I'm talking to?
Gus, who is it he's talking to?
He's just a very unassuming dude.
Yeah,
He's a dude's dude.
Yeah,
he's kind of just like a butler type guy.
Yeah, just he's usually in the front, the foyer, just hanging out.
So he's Mr. Fourier dude.
Yeah, he's the foyer guy. He's gonna get your coat when you come in and
Got it.
do that kind of stuff.
So, Mr. Fourier, dude, thank you for this message. I want to get to where my 4 best friends are. Do you know how I could get there quickly? Because they need me. It's urgent. I say with a weird big eye smile.
And yeah, you can get passage on a carriage or a dray.
All right, point me in the nearest direction of the modes of transportation you just explained.
It was kind of what's probably going to be your quickest bet is to just head back to the high road, and you can easily flag someone down.
Drav takes the high road.
Yep.
So I thank Mr. Fourier, dude, and I turn around and give it like a little mini wave to my brand new house, and I march over to the high road looking for a carriage or a dray to get myself to the dock to join my friends. All the while, like, I'm thinking in my mind, like, how am I going to tell the story? I really want them to know the truth, but, I don't want to be boring, all of that.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out how much that will cost. I don't think it's much.
Drav wouldn't know the difference.
They're just pieces of metal.
It's like, I've got the grimy ones, the shiny ones, and the really shiny ones. I know not to spend the really shiny one.
So the drays are kind of like a double-decker bus pulled by horses. It's only to get you down the high road. You would get. Yeah, you could take it for 2 nibs, 2 copper. And you could either get off at Waterdeep Way, or you could keep going into the southern ward and get off like way down south. Either way, you'd have to do a little bit of walking to get into the dock ward.
So I would probably defer to the driver. Say, I'm trying to get to the dock. I've got some friends on such and such a street, because I imagine that Gus put it in his write up what intersection he's at. So I'll ask, like, what's the fastest way for me to get there, so I know when to get off.
Yeah, probably just have you get off at Waterdeep Way, and then you can take Snail Street.
Snail Street it is.
But you guys didn't leave you a specific destination.
Thanks,
and
guys.
By the time you're doing this travel, they're deciding to leave. Right?
Well, it depends on how, like, to be fair, we said we were going to hang out there for a couple of hours.
Yeah. But that...
I feel like we should swing by the water.
Okay.
And do like one quick walk a couple blocks, see if we see anybody. At this, like, what time at night is it?
It's like after 9 o'clock, 9 to 10, somewhere in there.
Okay. And they don't kill people until midnight. I feel like we should at least stay here until midnight, guys.
And they don't kill people until midnight.
I love it.
Like, we can't just leave at 9 o'clock. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I thought we were changing our mind and staying here for the night.
No, I was thinking about. I've already got a room that I paid for.
No, I mean I thought we were staying out here at night because that's when the murders are taking place.
I thought we were gonna put a pin in this and come back to it once we figured out some more information. Like if you hear back from that captain that's doing the patrol right now, and we can get some more details of where to kind of zero in.
Yeah, and I was supposed to meet him tonight.
Oh, you can stay here.
But guys, we're a group.
I mean, I would be fine while we're having this conversation doing the whole, like, packing up my corner and, like, all kind of, like, walk off in a direction, assuming that they will follow and I'll try and stay, like, 200 to 300 feet ahead of them. Like, I'm gonna go wandering through dark alleys alone at this point.
Okay.
Nice.
Hoping that these folks are following close enough behind me that if I, like, shoot fire into the air, they know to come running.
I mean, I did like Lynn's point about kind of down near the water too. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm fine if we want to hang out for a while, but I think that we're going to wind up heading back.
So
Yeah.
well, if Dandriel's, you see him pack up and kind of walk away, and he's not part of this conversation. Dandriel, where are you walking to?
Let's see if I'm at Arlene and Gut Alley. So I'd probably. So you guys were mostly up by that, the inn on Adder Lane, right?
They weren't that far away. Gus was for a bit, but I think
Okay.
Nightbreed said he was only like 90 feet away, so that's like one or two houses
So-
in.
I would almost certainly, like, cut through Picklock Alley towards Fish Street, and then kind of cut back up towards Odd Street and then towards Dock, and start just kind of wandering around.
Okay. Yeah, when you start going down the back alley, it's a little bit darker. There aren't as many functioning street lamps. But yeah, you get through there without any trouble. And
As I attempt to court trouble as best I can.
You're shaking your bag of money over your shoulder, your
Okay.
little bindle as you're
And
walking.
I'm like, oh, look at this gold I made.
okay, so you came up Fish Street back towards Odd Street. that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Then yeah, you can easily do that back to about where you came from. And so the rest of you, are you all following?
Yeah.
Following.
Yeah.
him? Okay.
I'd probably hang out with Lynn and we'd walk kind of, I don't know, probably hanging back a little bit, but just kind of trying to catch up over time.
While
Yeah.
we're walking, I look over at Lynn and I say, "Listen, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like imply that you should do that weird companionship thing, but at the same time, you could probably make really good money."
Oh!
Son of a...
Oh! It
Son of a
started
biscuit.
so well.
I mean,
Took
like,
a really sharp and uncomfortable turn.
I saw some of the ladies there, and you were like way better. I mean, I could imagine you would be like
Gus, just
Oh.
stop. Just stop.
I love this conversation.
Thankfully,
so
Dandriel's
much.
not having to hear this conversation.
I'm gonna get stung by bees, dude.
I think at this point, because I've mentioned before, I think there's a point when Gus is talking that I've learned that I just turn it off, and I
Gus
think he's
here.
completely off.
Yeah.
I started to like perk up when it sounded like he was apologizing, and then I was just like, nope, there it is. That's the Gus I know.
That's the Gus
And just
So, like, as soon
turn off.
as he starts gussing, you start hearing Charlie Brown's parents.
I'm like, I'm probably like sighing and rolling my eyes and just.
Really tempted to hit him with bees. Just really tempted.
But I was being really nice and genuine.
I think at this point, I'm
Gus,
just like determinedly trying to like get a lead and get somewhere. So I am just like gonna super focus myself on like watching everything and like following Dan and like seeing I'm just gonna 100% focus on getting the job done and ignoring Gus as much as possible.
That's always the right answer.
Like I will probably be like a couple steps in front of him, just focused, like 100%.
I'm taking mental notes and telling Dan that he really saw this.
And so while you're heading down Dock Street, Dandrill, make a perception check.
Your head is missing.
Success! No. All right, you said perception?
Yes.
All right.
You see dirt in the ground from your head rolling around.
16.
Up ahead of you, you see a person looking around like he's looking for something eagerly, and you notice this person is a Dragonborn, and it is Dravarax.
Oh!
We go the other way.
Well, yeah. So I guess like as I'll approach Drav, I'll be like, Drav, what's up?
Dan! And I give Dan this huge Dragonborn goofy hug.
Can I tell that it is Drav from the distance that we're at, or do I just
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Oh, this could end poorly.
I might die right here.
Should I do that as well? Because I would
go ahead.
definitely have been.
As I'm like, what's up, Bro Sidon, king of the Broshin?
So my perception is +3, so that gives me a total of 5.
I got a 19.
Oh, thank you.
I got a 21.
Yay! You can tell who it is.
Okay,
Gus doesn't care.
Nightbreeze sees a Dragonborn go up and hug Dan, but doesn't
But it's not
immediately
just a hug,
recognize
it's
Do
him.
I see a hug, or do I
like
see
a-
the...
You kind of see like the silhouette of it.
I yell, Nightbreeze, he's being attacked.
I draw my rapier and start sprinting.
I put my arm out.
Love it.
I was walking in front. I put my arm out and be like, it's just Drav. Like that. And then I give Gus a freaking glare. He's so on my list tonight.
I sheath the rapier and I turn around and look at Gus like, what the
Oh man, that would have been really funny.
Meanwhile, Drav's finished hugging Dan. I put him down. It's so good to see you. I got a message from Gus letting me know you were here.
I don't let you put me down. I like try and like bring my legs up so you can like hold me like in an interesting wedding gary. You try to put me down, but I'm not letting this love.
And Drav knows no better, so because your legs lift up, he just holds you and talks to you like face to face.
Like, hey, where were you?
It's a long story, but I got a message from Gus that you were down here, and I wanted to find all of you because I wanted to talk to you and catch up and all of that.
Where was your jewel-eyed thing?
Oh, I thought you just left it in our new house. We have a new house, and I got to walk around.
We have a new house. It was totally on purpose. That's exactly where we left it. I wanted you to see the home that we have together now.
I knew it. One of my favorite best friends. I knew that you did that on purpose. Do you know where the other people are? Or are the rest of my 4 best friends?
Yeah, and by now
Yeah,
they
they're
should have caught up.
coming up behind.
Yeah.
Oh, great! And I do this. I'm holding him with one arm, and I'm doing a really awkward, like, in case you were trying to be sly, I'm like blowing your cover. Guys, over here! It's me! It's Drav! Gus, I see you! Gus!
I got caught up in the excitement of seeing you and forgot I was supposed to be trying to be shot,
Yeah.
like sly
I think
and
at
bait
this
here.
point we're just like whatever, and at
It's been
this
like
point
3 hours of baiting people.
I feel like I've maybe only interacted with Drav like 2 times, but
I
I'm
think
so
it's probably
freaking
right.
happy to see him. To get away from Gus.
He's such the opposite of Gus.
Anything to take away him, I'm headed
So
straight.
Dravrax equals negative Gus. Got it.
The anti-Gus.
Yes. So I'm happy to see him, and I say, oh, good. I'm glad. I was so worried that you were not going to find us when they left your thing just on the floor there.
So
Yeah,
Drav's
like-
confused. On the right. Well, it was so I could see the new place, right? Meanwhile, I'm still holding Dan, one arm like on my hip. I'm carrying you like this.
Yeah.
So I could see the new place. It's kind of dark, kind of gloomy. Not gonna lie, but it's really fun. I took some boards down. What are you guys up to?
You're trying to get me beheaded.
Yeah, that's an accurate statement.
So you're gonna have to.
I imagine at that point, Drav drops Dan.
Yeah.
No.
Dan takes 1d6 bludgeoning damage.
I don't bludgeon you. I just drop you. I don't fling you to the ground.
Drav draws his sword and says, "I can help."
Yeah. Oh, that's what we're doing.
You landed on your tailbone, though.
Ooh, that's gonna hurt. You're gonna be walking badly.
I feel that in the morning.
What? And I say in a too loud of a voice, "Why do we want Dan to lose his head?"
And I'll probably like shush him at this point because it's like we've been trying to be stealthy. And are we like in the center of the street?
Pretty much, yeah. You're just on Dock Street.
We're in the center of a giant crowd.
I'm gonna just kind of shush everyone to like a dark corner and like just kind of pull us all over here. And I'll pretty much just
so you
explain.
You can probably come into this little nook next to the warehouse.
Yeah. Just like a nice little dark, shady spot, and say, we were told about elf and half-elf sailors that are being beheaded. So we pretty much spent the entire day wandering around this stinky, smelly fish place, trying to find some sort of information, and pretty much coming up empty-handed. So we were trying to use Dan as bait.
Oh, says Trav. God. And you were trying to do this secretly, and I didn't help.
Oh, you did fine.
No, it's okay. It probably wasn't gonna work anyway.
It's been a long night. It hasn't really been working out, so we were probably. I mean, I was getting, I don't know, pretty tired of dancing, singing, and trying to get myself killed. So we should probably figure out what we're doing for the rest of the night.
Well, I can definitely help. But before we go any farther, and I look around to see are we surrounded by people? We're in that dark-ish corner.
There are people on the street, but you're kind of in a little side alley where there isn't anyone currently passing through.
Okay, so in that case, I kind of lower my voice and say, so I don't have a lot of experience explaining this, but since you guys have shown me a huge kindness by letting me be part of your group and putting my name on the deed, and I pull out of my pocket the deed of the house and the map of the things I've been working on. I wanted to share with you sort of why I keep disappearing and my story. And I reach into my little pocket and I pull out this prepared little script on scribbled paper with all these like cross-outs, and it's pretty pathetic, but I start. So a long time ago, I was born. Next page. And I lived in a barbaric clan. Next page. So I'm going through this, and in the midst of telling the story, I basically explain that I grew up in a barbaric clan, all about fighting, and I was a head taller than the rest, and so it sort of seemed like that was the best fit for who I would become. I would be this great fighter, following the footsteps of my grandfather and my father. But I never found like the joy of life in fighting, and I was out. We lived on the outskirts. We didn't live in society. We had our own barbarian clan. I was out on a hunt, and I came upon a group of what did you call them? What did I call them? Men wearing gray cloaks, basically. And they were sitting and they were talking about philosophy, and they were talking about science, they were talking about math, and while I didn't understand what they were discussing, I found myself fascinated by it. So I followed them for a little while, and after a while, actually joined in with them to ask questions and study, leaving my clan behind. Long story short, I wound up getting kicked out of my clan. I joined with these gray cloaks for a while, and then at some point they got killed, destroyed. And as a fallout from that, my teacher gave me a tome to take care of. And I read the tome, and all of a sudden have acquired this curse where I appear and disappear and show up in different places. And I sought out the help of Volo, who basically gave me the magic required to put myself into, or at least have a place to come back to with the little figurine that I carry around with me. And I used to just go to the abyss, and it was torturous, and I would be there for an hour or maybe 2 hours. But it's been different as of late, and I can never predict when it's going to happen. Sometimes it would be weeks between trips, and now it seems to be happening more and more frequently. And as I'm saying all of this, I'm getting really emotional, looking around, and I feel really embarrassed because I'm not used to like the talky talk thing. But I'm doing my best to explain, like, this is my story, and I feel like I really need help to figure out all of these things that I'm witnessing and try to lift whatever curse it is I'm under. I just want you guys to know I'm trusting you to help me with that, and if you'll allow me to stick around with you, even though I disappear every other session.
Yeah, of course we'll help.
Yeah,
That's what
definitely.
we do. That's what friends do.
I knew my 4 best friends would help.
Speaking
And I
of
say
the
that
figurine, do
100%.
you have the figurine?
I do, yes.
Maybe
It's-
give it back to Dan?
Absolutely. Yeah, and I hand it over to Dan. And I said, leaving it at our house is a great spot. It's a great, home base to come back to. But if you ever, if I'm not there and you feel like I might show up, bring it into battle. I'll come and help. But in the meantime, let's, try to cut Dan's head off. That sounds like a good plan.
What time are we looking at?
It's probably past 10 now.
Okay.
And I will say Dravarax, Lindariel, and Nightbreeze. Roll a perception check.
Sure.
I picked you guys because you are all proficient in perception.
Natural 20.
Natural
So that
20
makes it 23.
is really good.
17.
Like the best.
Yeah.
Natural 30.
So what was yours, Lynn?
17.
And Drav? Low. Okay.
I rolled a 2. And it's a...
So Nightbreeze is the only one who notices. Just after Drav hands the figurine to Dan, a shadow moves above you in the rooftops. So perhaps someone else was listening into this story.
Dun, dun, dun.
So we're back in kind of an alleyway.
Yeah, you're in a you're next to a warehouse, and there is an opening here to get over to Siren Street. And yeah, someone moved on the warehouse above you here.
I kind of take a step back towards the water, and I looking up, I say, "Guys, we weren't alone.
What did you see, Nightbreeze?
Something moved on the rooftop."
Can we hear anything? Do we know where it was going?
Do I have an idea of direction, or did it just like recede back onto the rooftop?
Yeah, just recede back onto the rooftop. So if someone were to retreat on the rooftops, they have a couple of different ways they could go.
I saw something on the rooftop move back.
How high is the rooftop?
That's
70
2 stories.
But for Drav, that's like, he could reach up and just pull
No,
himself
I
up.
was thinking, I'm a pretty tall guy. I was thinking I would throw one of the short, just throw them up to see if I could grab the.
You're
The
welcome.
only short one is that one.
You can throw me up there.
Can I throw you real fast?
Yeah.
Why not? Why not? Let's do it. Let's be bold. I'll roll.
Yeah, make a strength check.
Yes, that's a 17 plus 5.
Okay.
23.
Guys, I'll have you make an acrobatics check.
What kind? Acrobatics?
Yeah.
I'm gonna run around the other side of the building and kind of being away where I can kind of am looking at the roof, but I'm trying to see like if there's other places they can kind of jump down.
Yeah, and I'm kind of continuing my back pedal towards the water's edge, keeping my eye on the rooftop, seeing from the other angle, seeing what I can see.
And I'll create 4 balls of light and get them up onto the roofs as best I can and as spread out as I can to try and illuminate as much space as possible.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to see much up there on my own. I got a 10.
A 10, and what was your driver axe?
23.
23. Okay. A total of 33. So yeah, you...
22, sorry, my math was wrong. 22.
So 32. So you give him a pretty good launch, and I'll say, Gus, you do find a ledge you can grab onto. You don't make it all the way to the roof, but you get up pretty far and you can grab on. Make a strength check to try and climb up.
You got this, Gus, says Trav from below. My best friend.
With a -1, it's a 16.
16? Okay, so you it takes you a minute, maybe not quite a whole minute, maybe like half a minute, but you can like climb your way up, and you can pull yourself up onto the roof.
All right, what do I see?
You see basically just the rooftops. You don't see a whole lot up here.
Can I see?
Is it a pointy roof or a flat roof?
This one is flat.
Do I see like any kind of tiles that have been shuffled around from running?
Make a perception check.
13.
13. You don't notice anything like that. Looking around, like there is a series of buildings somewhat to the north and a series of buildings somewhat to the east, and either way, it's they're all about the same height. So you could definitely see someone could run along this pretty easily. And there are gaps between the buildings, but someone could jump them. Not
So
too bad.
I don't see any kind of silhouette in the distance that would indicate.
You don't see them at this point, but you know that it's possible someone could have run away from here.
If I look down, can I see which way the other members of the party are going?
Sure. Unless they're trying to do something to hide, which I don't.
No,
I don't think so.
I'm trying to scan the top of the roof, looking at the building, and see if I see. I think Lynn went the other way into the alley, right?
Yeah, I went back around the other side of the building to see if there's like maybe they hop down or anything like that.
Okay, make a perception check.
Ooh, only 12.
12. Yeah, you don't see anything particularly interesting back there. There were a couple people standing out. Kind of looks like they are just pulling garbage out from their shop into the alley.
Can I ask them if they saw anyone run by?
Sure. They didn't see anyone.
I'm just gonna pick a direction and just start running.
Which direction?
North.
North. Okay. You run. You get to the edge of the building. Make another acrobatics check.
You did it. Go, guys.
17.
16. Yeah, you.
17.
17. You clear the gap and continue running on the other side.
How cool do I look doing this?
No one's
Drav's impressed. Drav's
Really
impressed.
fast. Really fast. You said you were running north. So is he running the opposite direction of what I saw the shadow go?
You didn't really see which direction the shadow went because he was like leaning over the building.
Right.
And-
But I saw him come back. But did he just leap over of Drav to go to the other?
No, so he went from. This is the warehouse you're next to.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Gus just got to the next building north of that.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure if we were on the north side of the alley or on the south side. Okay.
Yeah, so the direction I guess I would have been running like towards Siren Street and up towards the exit of that back alley. Because there's only one exit out.
So you're heading back up this way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I would have been heading while trying to keep lights kind of up in the air to illuminate as much of the space as possible for both Gus and the rest of us.
And both Dock Street and Ship Street are fairly well lit. So let's have Dan go ahead and make a perception check.
That is a 15 plus 1, 16.
16. You also don't notice anything. There's plenty of people walking down on the main roads. But you don't see anything out of the ordinary in the back streets.
Okay.
Same thing. I'm scanning windows and trying to look it would be north along the building to see if I see anything going on.
Okay. Let me pause. Gus, are you continuing to go over the next one?
Yeah,
go ahead and make-
I'm chasing him like an epic cop scene.
you think
Just hoping
you
he's in
are.
front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, make another acrobatics check for the next gap.
12.
12. You also make it. This one you land a little bit harder. You have to kind of stop a moment to catch yourself, but you keep going. And Night Breeze.
The Drav has hollowed up. What do you see? What do you see, Gus?
He's kind of
Nothing.
already run away.
So I was, after I threw him, I was like holding my hands up so he could fall down. And as I see his little silhouette scurry, I'm like, I'll go that way too, man. Okay. I'll just run around the.
Okay, so you're kind of following Night Breeze. So Night Breeze, make a perception check.
A perception?
Yeah.
19 plus 3, so 22.
Yeah. So you see someone jump from roof to roof, and it looks like Gus.
I don't see anybody else.
Yeah, you don't. That kind of distracts you because like, oh, something moving on the roof.
It's the second most attractive man in Waterdeep.
Yeah. But if you're also trying to like look in windows. Most of these buildings, at least one of them is a warehouse. The other one looks to be like a storefront that's closed. You can't. It's dark inside.
Okay. Yeah, I call up to Gus. Are you chasing him? Do you see him?
I see nothing.
Awesome.
All right, and there's one more building to get to the corner. You continuing to jump?
Yep.
Yes? Okay, make another acrobatics.
19.
19. Yeah, that one you easily clear, and yeah, you've made it basically to Odd Street.
I will.
I wouldn't suggest trying to jump the street.
Yeah, I guess I'll turn northeast there and keep running.
Okay.
Is he seeing anything up there? Like jumping from place to place? Is he?
So far
Able
he
to-
hasn't. You want another perception check?
20.
20. Yeah, you still don't. You don't see anything particular of interest up on the rooftops.
Well, I'm gonna keep running.
Okay. Yeah. How far do you want to keep going? You want to keep getting all the way to
I'm
Ship
going
Street?
until I can no longer go.
Okay. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make 6 more acrobatics checks.
Oh no.
8.
8. That one did not go well. You catch, there's like a lip on the edge, and you catch your foot on it. So you clear the gap, but you basically land on your face on the next roof. And
Perfect.
I will have you take 2 damage for that.
All right.
So,
Specifically chin damage.
Yeah.
so I'm like back in that alley. Did I see him do that?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh God, please, yes.
You're not in that alley.
She is.
I
No,
was
she is.
behind the building.
She is.
I'm at the
She was
back.
talking to the people who were coming out of the building you just tried to land on.
That's an 18 plus 5.
Yeah, you totally saw someone trip into the rooftop. And the people you were talking to there also looked up. They heard it.
There was like a crunch, right? Like a really satisfying crunch.
Yeah, probably.
I know it was Gus, probably, because, well, I'll run over to it and make sure it's Gus and not the person. Because I know Gus was up there, but not the person. So I'll run over there.
Yeah, you can't see anything from the ground. You can't see anything on the roof. But you saw someone not very gracefully
Not
jump the
clear it
gap.
particularly well.
Totally wasn't Gus.
Which he hollers from the roof. That wasn't Gus.
The next one is a 9.
A 9. That is almost the exact same thing happens.
Another 2 damage.
Yeah, that's that one's
I will
3.
not be deterred.
That one's 3 damage.
Gus kills himself.
So at this point, I'm just following him along, and I can pretty much guess that it's Gus. I think I would probably be like, yeah, this is him. I'm just
Yeah.
following along on the ground, like casually.
Next
I'm
one's
just trying to
9.
catch him. If you fall.
So this time you didn't even like make the jump properly. You kind of just basically tripped and just landed on your knee before the edge.
Oh!
So I didn't get across the building yet.
No, you haven't actually made the jump yet.
At this point, I'm getting really tired. But I'm gonna give it one more try.
Yeah, you've run a good distance, so this makes sense. You're tiring out, so your performance is failing.
That's a 23.
You easily make it that time to the next building. You're about halfway up Odd Street.
Halfway up Odd Street. So 3 more?
Yeah.
All right.
Undeterred.
7.
7.
Oh, gosh.
You
When did I
almost
fall?
fall between the buildings. You barely caught yourself. And you also hurt yourself again for another 4 damage.
Are you bloody
I'm
now?
hearing this, right? Like, I'm hearing the, like,
Oh, totally. You hear, oh!
You're bloody, right?
wheel.
I will not be deterred. All right, so I got, what, 2 more jumps?
Yeah.
1 more jump? 2 more jumps. 17.
17, you make it.
23.
23, you make it to the last building there.
And I will look around.
You look
Do
around.
I see anybody down in the streets, like, running?
There's plenty of people down in the streets. You don't see anyone who is like.
Lynn's down there running. She's following you.
Yeah, you don't see anyone like in the open space there, like who seems like they're running away. There is like there's off to your right on that corner is a tavern, off to your left is an inn, and they have a fair number of people just hanging out outside. There's plenty of people walking through the streets. Not as many as there were before. It's getting later, but there's people are starting to filter into where they're gonna spend the evening.
Well, since I didn't see what was going on, I never saw anybody. I don't even know what I'm looking for. I was just running.
And if you look back south down Siren Street, there is a building. There is a gap there. You think you probably could jump, but it would be risky.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Going for
Drav calls up, I got you, buddy.
it.
Can I see him attempting this?
Yeah.
I'm gonna yell like, Gus, no. Stop.
Meanwhile, Drav says, go
Calm
for
down.
it. Drav thinks that he's following him.
Yeah. Go for gold, Gus.
I got a 12.
A 12. You barely land on the edge of the next building, and you kind of tuck and roll
Sweet.
and land.
Did it look good? Did it at least look kind of cool?
It didn't look the most elegant landing.
But there's probably not a lot of people in the group that could do what I just did. So I'm kind of happy with myself. And now I want to figure out how to get down.
Yeah, if you look around there, there's a couple places you feel like you could climb down.
Is
right.
there a cart filled with hay? Just Assassin's
Yeah,
Creed
Assassin's
style?
Creed.
Yeah, totally.
There aren't any carts here, but
Any giant piles of hay?
so some of the bricks on this building are big enough with grips on them you can climb down them.
All right, I will. I'll climb down.
Okay.
And you guys will notice that I now have like a cut in my chin. It's just like oozing down, and I got like scrapes all over the side of my face. Looks like I don't know, like road rash. If you ever like roller skating or rollerblading and fell and face planted.
All your elbows
Yeah.
and knees, anything that's exposed, I'm sure.
Yeah. And I'm just I'm all torn up.
Did you get him?
I didn't. Are we sure there was something there? Because
I mean,
one
that-
person saw him.
I know I saw something.
Are we at this point kind of all like caught up? Because I think Dan ran up around this way too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you
Yeah.
want to regroup here in the Odd Street and Ship Street, you can all be there.
Yeah, I think Drav and I were going down Odd Street.
Gus made enough commotion that you knew where he was.
Well, thanks for looking, Gus. Sorry I started this, I guess.
Do you need help
Somebody
with
knows.
that, Gus?
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool. If
I take my finger and I poke him on his stupid forehead. And let's see. I have cure wounds now, guys.
ooh,
Nice.
I rolled a 7 for you. I roll a d8 plus my spell casting, so that's a 10.
wow, I am fully healed.
Wow.
And I
Yeah, you
just
see his wounds kind of close
back
up.
to ignoring
There's still some blood there. It doesn't like clean that up, but yeah, you're no
And
longer
the pride
bleeding.
doesn't get healed quickly either.
Impressive. I say to Lynn.
Thank you, Lynn.
I just start walking back towards like Dock Street, like the water. Kind of where we originally were.
So that's just interesting. I was watching another D&D game where someone had to heal someone else, but they were also mad at them. So they coined the phrase aggressive healing.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
that's kind of what
That's
just
what
happened.
I mean. I literally went like, yeah.
All right, do we want to take a quick break here?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We will be back in a couple minutes.
Some trees behind me.
Nice.
All right, and we're back. And Nightbreeze has a new sword.
Nice.
All right, so you just had a brief mini adventure on the rooftops in the dock ward. At least Gus
Great
did.
success. Great success.
It fixed all the problems, and while we were we solved everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we found the dragon horde heist thing.
Yep, we did it. We did all the things. New game.
All right, so you're hanging out in the dock ward, getting kind of late.
Yeah.
I started walking back towards the water.
Okay.
I'll follow.
Let's go.
Yep.
So as we're walking, I say to Dan, so Dan, I think, with the whole like roof thing that Gus just did, I think when we try to get your head cut off again, like maybe we could have somebody on the roof seeing if maybe like somebody's cutting people's heads off from the roof. Like a better vantage point.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. And you can just throw them up there as you improve them.
I totally can.
I could
but-
never do that.
But maybe not Gus. I don't want Gus to like die up there.
Oh yeah, I was really
I
waiting
don't
for your
think
initial
we have
throw
to
to fail.
worry about that. And if we do, whoops.
Well, Lynn has healing magic now, so
Yeah.
I won't die.
But it'd still just be amazing to watch you throw Gus up on the air and have him just land on his face.
Grab the lip. Come. Ooh.
I
All right.
probably have the highest acrobatics out of all of us. I'm plus 4.
I'm
I
plus,
should totally toss you then.
Yeah.
I'm a +5 for acrobatics.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
I'm
And you
super
killed
dexterous.
it that bad?
I just roll very badly.
Oh.
So is the plan, guys, that we're going to just keep walking around for a couple hours until we see any mischievous activity and like attack or take notes? Like what are we doing?
I
Well, I
guess
think-
so.
I think that as the night draws on, that one of the things that we need to really consider is that there's a lot of information we don't have, and having that information would help us make better decisions about maybe where to. Because from what we've seen so far, I mean, Gus just ran around an entire block of mini, and I don't know how many more times he can fall off of the building.
Yeah.
As many as I
One
need.
more time.
I
One
am-
more time.
Is it like 11 yet? Is it close to midnight?
Yeah, it's getting there. And as you're walking down on the dock, there are fewer people out now, and you can see more people. They have lights on in their boats.
Are there any city guards on patrol that we can see?
Guards, not so many, but you do see a watch patrol coming up.
Okay.
You see maybe they come through here about every 90 minutes or so. I'd say for a couple of those passes you were watching Dan's performance.
Oh, what's left?
Well, we need to track down that captain for you, right? Maybe you should leave another note, let them know to find you. We can go back to Troll Skull. But
Do you think he would come all the way up there to talk to you?
No, I think it's really unlikely that he'll come a couple blocks to come talk to me.
Yeah. So where were you gonna meet him?
I was gonna meet him at the that first tavern we stopped at. I think
The
it was
Blue Mermaid?
Yeah, that one, Blue Mermaid.
Was that tonight? I can't remember.
Yes, it was gonna be tonight when he got done with his shift. Captain.
Should we maybe go ahead and start meandering that way then?
Yeah, we can see if he's gonna be there. Got nothing else to lose.
At this point, yeah.
yeah,
When the people have been decapitated, just to catch me up, where have their bodies been found? Are they all
On the
on
ground.
the street? Nice.
We were literally told no information.
right.
Oh, really?
This was from Davil. He literally just said
Over in the
Elf?
dock ward. We're like, do you have anything else? He's like, no.
Yeah.
No,
elves
over in
and
the dock.
half-elves who are sailors over the past few months have been showing up murdered, and they're all decapitated.
Did he mention if they were the racing sailors, the kind that that Gus tried to schmooze earlier? If they were like actual sailors, not that racing sailors aren't. Anyway,
I think it's probably actual ones because the racing ones have only been here the last 10 days.
okay.
Whereas
Yeah.
this is something that's been happening over a month's time. So it's probably people that are more around often. I guess they go in and out all the time.
Did
but-
he give you the names of the ships that they were on?
Nothing.
Whether the border
We
call,
asked.
none of that.
Yeah, we
No.
asked questions and he didn't know anything. Like
Yeah.
time
Basically,
frame.
Dock
No,
ward,
we-
half elves. That's all we got. Sailors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So literally the least amount of information, and no one else has known any information. One person knew what we were talking about, but all they said they heard something in a tavern. But when we went to that tavern, no one knew anything. So
Is there a chance that this is a wild goose chase? That Davil put us out for no reason?
I think you
I
meant
say 100%.
seagull.
Oh,
Wild
it's a
seagull
wild
chase.
seagull chase.
Is Jeffrey still around?
Ooh, good question.
Make a perception check.
I want to find Jeffrey.
Come on, Jeffrey.
Can I feel like I want to. 16?
You don't notice particularly Jeffrey, and there are actually much fewer birds at night. They've found their places to rest for the evening for the most part. There might still be a few trying to pick at some trash, but they don't appear to be Jeffrey in particular.
That's sad.
Do
Can
you
I call out to him and say, Jeffrey? Oh, but I can't speak in his language, so he doesn't hear me anyway. I'm just saying Jeffrey, probably, or am I don't know. How does that work?
Your spell ended, so you are not proficient in seagull language.
Yeah.
And I ask, who's Jeffrey?
Oh, it's a seagull friend of mine. He was trying to help us, but he didn't really know much.
Oh. Wow, cool.
And then he disappeared, like one of our other friends tends to do.
Well, I told him to keep a watch on Night Breeze, so I don't know if he's around here, maybe. But I told him he could have more fish if he does. So I don't know what happened though.
Any other questions?
I'm full of questions. I am literally full of questions. I'll ask about what this Blue Mermaid place was and what it was like when you first went there. I probably heard this awkward story about how Gus tried to pimp out Lynn. And I have lots of questions about how that works. Is that like normal society? There's a lot. So we could talk about all of that as we're. Drav is all about going for you to talk to this captain person. But he's the fact that the clues aren't lining up is confusing, right? That there's not like, did we go to the morgue and ask the people at the morgue how often these folks came in or anything like that? You know, I imagine you probably already did those things.
We did not go to a morgue or morguist, whatever they're called.
It's called a mortgage ward.
It's called Morgenstern. That's Morgenstern.
No.
I'm going with morguist.
I like it.
So, yeah. So we'll just go to the Blue Mermaid, right?
Yeah, Blue Mermaid. I said I'd meet him outside.
Oh, you said outside. Okay.
Because are you not allowed back in, Gus? After what happened earlier?
No, that was the mermaid's arm.
That was a different place.
Oh. Got it.
This one, I didn't offend. Well, maybe I did. I always offend Lynn, so I probably offended her at some point here.
So there are a bunch of places that you have visited.
Offended Lynn at.
So just,
Constant.
up here was the warehouse where you had the rooftop adventure. Here is the station where you set up your meeting with Captain Staggett, and outside of it you had a interview with a reporter.
Mm-hmm.
Right around the corner was the Mermaid's Arms, where you had several awkward encounters. Up here is Mule Skull Tavern, which is the headquarters of the Dung Sweepers Guild. Across the street is the Blue Mermaid, which is your current destination. And you had dinner at the Sleeping Winch, and that's where Nightbreeze went to try to get information, or try to find a ship to find employment. There's also, you saw the Shipper's Hall and the Cooper's Rest. And I'll also throw in, about over here, you've passed it a couple times tonight, is the Shipwright's House, which is going to be the location of the Shipwrights Ball later this 10-day.
Ooh, fancy. I'll have to get a ticket to attend.
Just one?
Well,
What about that girl that you had that date with?
Ooh.
I don't know. I think this isn't really her for speed.
But you guys met at the shore.
Well, yeah, but that's like a public gathering. This is like an elite. It would have to be a noble.
Oh. Okay.
Okay,
So-
you guys make it back to the Blue Mermaid?
Yeah.
Was I stood up there too?
Yeah, if you're looking to meet someone outside, there are people hanging out outside. They seem a little bit intoxicated, but not the watch officers you were looking for.
Hey, gentlemen. Have you seen a patrol captain come through here?
And like they'll say they've seen some patrols come through. They're not paying much attention to it.
Well, you probably should, because you're outside drunken. But that's cool. I'll go inside, look around.
Yep, and there's fewer people in here now than there were before. It's still another quiet, boring atmosphere. There's just kind of booths. There's a few people in here, but
Captain Staggett!
yeah, there's no reply to that. He's not in here.
Go back outside. He's not here.
So what do we want to do?
I don't know. We should probably Probably go sleep.
Are there any elves? The people that are outside, are any of them elves or half elves?
Make a perception check.
Ooh, 17.
17. There are fewer people on the street now, but you don't see too many non-humans. I will say there is one half-elf in that group standing outside.
Okay. Are they like deep in the group, or can I like edge up to them?
You could walk up to them, yeah.
In order to cut their head off? Are you the killer?
No, to talk to them.
It's solved. Oh, got it. I got
Like
it.
I'll probably like nudge, like whoever's standing next to me, like Nightbreeze or Dan. I'll like nudge them, and be like, "There's a half elf.
Oh, okay.
Talk to them." You know?
So, seeing the half elf, I'm going to speak to them in Elvish and say, what have you heard about things happening to other elves around here as of late?
And they'll be like, what do you mean happening?
We've been told, this is all in Elvish, we've been told that there have been some... Were we told that they were all half-elves or just half-elves and elves?
Half-elves and elves.
We've been told that there were elves and half-elves that are sailors that have actually been found with their heads cut off here in the dock ward, and we're trying to find out what's going on. Have you heard anything whatsoever?
And he seems pretty alarmed, but he's like, no, I haven't heard anything. What's happening?
We don't know. We were sent down here, and here's what I would like for you to try to do. If you hear anything, can you somehow get word to the Troll Skull Syndicate up at the Troll Skull Keep? And we will be down here as soon as we can. We're just trying to find out what's going on so we can put a stop to this, so people like us can be safe.
He'll repeat Troll Skull Syndicate. Oh, okay, I'll let them know. And you see, like his other friends around are be like, hey, who is this guy? And like they're like trying to like question who you are.
And I reach into my pocket and I pull. Next drink's on me, good brother.
Like, oh, okay. You cut out there, but I'm assuming you're buying them around.
I'm handing him his silver and letting him know the next drink's on me.
Oh, okay, and he'll take it.
All right.
Well, that's something at least.
What happened? What were you guys talking about?
Oh, it's how we talk. I'll have to tell you later.
Elf stuff.
I'll just say that he hasn't heard anything, but I told him to let us know if he does. Hopefully, prior to his head being removed from his body, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Would be helpful. Yes.
Oh, I asked what ship are these guys from?
What ship? They are. Let's find out. They actually were from a ship altogether, one called the Sea Galloper. They were in today and yesterday's race, but they placed in 5th, and it was a distant
they didn't make
5th.
the cut.
The first 4 ships were way ahead, so they kind of didn't even finish. So they're here drinking their night away.
All right.
What do you think, guys? Exhausted leads? Do we want to wait around for this captain, or do we want to just go home?
Captain Staghead is a notorious drunkard. He's not going to show up.
So you know that to be not true, but the rest of you don't.
I'm mad that he stood me up, so I'm going to make comments about him.
He stood you up on the meeting that you tried to make with him that he has not actually responded to yet.
Yeah. Yep.
He's that kind of jerk.
Yeah, I would say let's call it what it is, and let's try to get some rest. And let's maybe hang out around Troll Skull Keep and try to get that up and running. We do have the Dung Sweepers Guild coming in for a free estimate tomorrow at noon.
Yeah, they might have another door to fix.
Great.
What'd you do?
But I've already paid for a room, so I'm going to go back, and I've got stuff to move over anyway. So.
Yeah, I think I would probably stay where we were staying because all my stuff is there anyway.
Yeah.
I think I left the cart and horses at the Roars in the Dark Lord. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I'm remembering. Okay. So I don't know if everyone wants to come back
It's back up here.
and get the cart, and then we can mosey back up there.
Do we
Sounds
want
like
to
a
make?
plan.
Do we all make plans to reconvene?
You're cutting out.
Do we want to make plans to reconvene tomorrow morning since Gus is probably going to go back to his place?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Do you want to just meet at our new place?
Sure.
Home sweet home.
And I'll say, on your way to the cart, you are passing by Zoblob's shop, which is lit up.
Draft has
Too
never
broke.
been to Zoblob's shop.
That's true. Drav has never been to Zabul.
So you see a big stuffed beholder in the
He's-
window,
he's seen that.
and lots of purple light coming from it.
Ah. So I ask, is this place worth going to? Should we?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh
All
yeah.
right. So I will take a rain check on going there tonight because I get a weird sensation in my stomach. Dan, can you hold on to my that sounds awkward. Can you hold on to the statue thing?
Like, Dan, can you
I don't
hold
know
on
what's
to
gonna
this for
happen.
me?
This one feels weird.
Really fast before you
Crazy.
go out of this plane, I want to make sure that one of us grabbed the deed from you when you handed it out to
Oh,
us.
yeah. Here,
So-
take the things. Take all the things.
I got
And
it.
Did you ever get your box, Drav? Did they give you your box?
I got a box? No, where's the box?
If we've made it back to the cart, I think his box is probably still in the cart.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
he
you
has
gave
a
it
box
to him
in the
last
cart.
time, but I think he just left it in the cart.
I don't know if we ever gave it to him.
No,
maybe
you
didn't.
No, we didn't. It's in the cart.
Yeah.
No box. Are we there? I'm getting that weird feeling.
Yeah,
Hold
no.
on to it. If Jonathan comes looking for me, tell him I'll need him to deliver a letter later. Long story short, he's a really great little guy, person, man, thing.
Okay.
Little
And,
man person thing.
And I don't actually know what it looks like when Drav disappears, so I'll let the DM use some flavor text there. But Drav does his Drav thing. Drav's got a Drav.
Yeah, you kind of just see some dust, kind of like tornado up around him a little bit, and he kind of just blinks out. And then the winds kind of settle, and he's gone.
Bye, friends.
You hear echoing.
You can't tell, but I'm smiling.
All right.
I mean, I imagine that was weird, right? Because we've never seen that before.
Yeah.
So
You've
we're all
seen
probably like,
him-
what?
Some of you have seen him pop in, but yeah, I think every time he's popped out, he's been out of sight.
Okay.
Well, now there's that.
Well, if he doesn't want his box, I'll take it. I didn't get anything.
The box is for him.
Yeah, it's totally drafts.
You don't need anything. You have a huge, fancy house with all these fancy people to do everything you need. So you don't need anything.
Okay, so you guys are heading back to the inn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going back to my house.
Yep.
I mean,
Are you riding with us to the inn and then going from there?
Yeah,
I mean, if you're letting him on the cart.
I'm running behind the cart.
I do that thing where it's like he goes to like get in and I like kind of move the horses forward so he like stumbles, and then like
He's got like
I'm
one
like,
leg up and then starts
sorry,
pulling
and like
away.
he tries again and move it a little bit forward again, maybe 2 times, enough where he knows however many times it takes for him to know that it's on purpose and it's not an accident.
Yep, I assume Gus figures that out.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, you make it back to the Inn of the Dripping Dagger, and from there, Gus can continue back to his villa. Is there anything else you wanted to do this evening?
I would say that while we're riding up to the Inn of the Dripping Dagger, I would ask Lynn. Hey, Lynn, the other day you said that you went to Volo to get some help on something. What's going on? Is there anything we can do?
So are you riding in like the front with her?
If she lets me.
I would let you.
Okay. Then yes.
I would let you or Dan if you wanted to get up. I would not like
If
that.
Dan beat me to it, then no.
No, I'm gonna be poking fun at Gus for falling in the back.
Nice.
Yeah,
So,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm focused on that.
And I'm not saying it like overly loud. I'm just asking.
Okay. I would probably, if you're not saying it overly loud, I would probably turn and see if Gus is listening. I would feel uncomfortable talking about it around him.
Interesting.
So Gus
do I
and Dan,
So
what are
you're
you
paying
doing?
attention?
I'm riding with like my legs kind of dangling off the back.
Okay.
Do I see that she's uncomfortable?
Make an insight check.
Insight, 19 plus something.
So I'll say probably.
22.
Are you, Lindari, are you trying to hide how you're feeling?
No, but he'll see that, like, if I'm looking around, he can, I mean, with that, he probably notices that
Okay.
I'm seeing if Gus can hear, and
Then-
I wouldn't want to say.
I would say in Elvish. Elvish is okay if you can.
Okay. So I would respond back in Elvish and say, the reason I'm here in Waterdeep is to try and find my father. I don't know who he is. I've never known him. And I don't really have many leads of anything. So I was asking Volo to see if he might know anything more and be able to help me.
Well, when we have time, let's figure out what you know, and we can keep that in mind while we're doing other things.
So all I really know is that he was a human who was the son of a very wealthy family and pretty much didn't want anything to do with me or my mom.
Okay. And
And at that point, I'd probably like look back at Gus and I would probably say something like, that's probably why you know there's not much love lost with his type.
understood. Well, we're here to help. That's what we do, right?
Yeah,
And I would just,
thank you.
of course. All right.
All right. And so yeah, you make your way to the Inn of the Dripping Dagger. You can stable the horses. Dan, where are you heading for the evening?
The attic probably.
Okay. Yeah. It's,
Dude, I've got room in my room.
Oh, yeah, okay. Are you sure? Like, cause you paid for that room.
And?
Sweet, I'm crashing on the floor.
Yeah. It's a little more comfortable than all the people crammed in the attic.
Yeah, it's definitely more comfortable than people grabbed in the attic. I just like I'm not the kind of guy who's gonna invite himself.
No, it's consider it an open invitation.
And Gus, you can easily make your way back to the Talmost Villa, and we can all have a long rest.
Hooray!
Nick should have held on for that extra 5 minutes so he could actually take a long rest.
I know, right? Maybe the DM could be gracious enough. No.
I mean, we'll see where he ends up. So this would be a pretty convenient stopping point if we just want to wrap up a little early, or if you guys want to keep going a little bit late, we can start the next day. I'll let you guys decide.
I'm fine either way.
This does feel like a tremendous.
It feels like a good spot.
Place.
But...
Yeah.
Doesn't matter to me.
I'm cool with stopping here.
All right. Then we can call it there for tonight. We had a very eventful day.
An eventful, uneventful day.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, if you look at...
Literally just running around getting nothing accomplished from start to finish.
Let's be clear. We did a lot of entertaining things today.
Yes.
This is true.
It was 3 sessions for this day.
Right?
And no packages were delivered
Yeah.
during the filming of this episode.
There you go.
All right. Well, we'll end there on a long rest. Have a good Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yes, you as well.
Happy
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
And I think we'll be back next week.
As far as I know, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have a good night. Happy Thanksgiving, and yeah, thanks everyone for watching.
Yay!
Yeah.